Welcome to today's episode of the Fit for Success podcast, and I'm going to be talking about discipline, all things discipline, and how to build discipline into your life, specifically for health and fitness, but also this is going to bleed into other areas of your life. Discipline is a superpower. If you can be disciplined, you're ahead of 90% of the population already. If you could be disciplined for a consistent period of time, you can really get some pretty damn special results, and that's why we want to talk about it, because one of the most common things that I hear is, I don't have the motivation right now. I don't have the motivation most of the time, being completely honest. I have motivation maybe 50% of the time. And if I only went to the gym when I felt motivated, if I only stuck to my diet when I felt motivated, I wouldn't get anywhere fast, put it that way. Okay, and I've relied on motivation before and it just doesn't work. We have to find a way to build discipline. Discipline is doing things that you don't want to do because they know that it will benefit you. So how do we build discipline? Some few simple steps for you to implement into your life. For me, it starts with your why. Why do you need to build discipline? Why do you need to get the result that you want to get? And continue to ask yourself why. And then the second question that I'd ask is who? Who else is going to benefit from you being disciplined? Who else is going to benefit from you getting that result? And I would dig deeper and deeper until you get to the real core answer, probably an answer that actually hurts you a little bit. And that is what's going to drive you to be disciplined. So although this is very much a psychological thing, it starts with a mindset to drive you forwards. So for example, if your why is that I want to lose fat, why? I want to have more confidence, why? Because I don't feel great in myself right now. Why? Why do you want that feeling? If I had that feeling, I would be so much better in business. I could stand on stage and talk to people. I could shake any hand in any room. I could deliver my content and my marketing in a much better fashion. Amazing. There we go. We have a true crux of the reason that's actually going to really mean that you have to be disciplined in order to get to a position that will actually give you some real gain in life. The same with who. Who else is going to benefit? And don't allow this to be like a surface level answer. The first answer is obviously yourself. You're going to benefit. Who else? It might be your wife. Why does your wife benefit? Because you're going to have a better sex life. You're going to be happier. That means you're going to have more energy to give to her. All of these things. Who else? Your kids. How do your kids benefit? Number one, you're a role model for them. Number two, you're going to build in longevity. And number three, you're going to show up as a better person for them. Again, more happier, more fulfilled, more energy. And they're going to benefit. On a deeper level, who else is going to benefit? If you're a business owner, it might be your clients, it might even be your clients' families. For example, we get messages from clients' wives saying, thank you so much for bringing the old version of XYZ back. And that for me just shows me why I need to continue doing things, because there's so many people who benefit. So think of the people that benefit from you looking after yourself and you focusing on yourself. That should be your biggest driver towards being disciplined. So the next tip to being disciplined is treating yourself like someone that you love. There's so many people that will be listening to this that really treat yourself with disrespect. You don't look after yourself enough. If you looked at yourself from an outsider's perspective, would you be proud? If someone looked over your shoulder and was looking at your routines, would you be proud of them? Would you be proud of your diet? Would you be proud of your training and your exercise and how you look after yourself? Because from my own experience with this, when I went through that period of binge eating, when I went through that period of drinking alcohol to forget the weekends, and it was just because I didn't love myself. So you have to choose to love yourself first before going into this journey, and then you treat yourself in that fashion. You treat yourself like someone that you love, and that's going to lead to some really cool places. Okay. Next is identity shift. Now, identity shift is the crux of every single change that you need to make in your life. You need to become someone else in order to become someone else. Okay. So identity shift is ultimately shifting your identity in towards becoming somebody else before you actually become them and have the result. So there's a few questions that you can ask yourself here. Who is the very best version of yourself? Who is that person? What do they look like? How do they feel? What are their confidence levels? What are their energy levels? Who is the circle that they hang around with? Who are their connections, their friends, their family? What decisions do they make on a daily basis? What is their routine? What are their habits? What do they eat? Would this person allow their mood to affect their decisions on all of these things? These are very, very important questions to be asking yourself. And simply to shift your identity, you have to step into that person that you've got those answers to today. You have to start doing the things that that person would do. If the very best version of yourself would eat good quality whole foods, that's what you do to be successful. If the very best version of yourself would get up at 6 a.m. on the first alarm, that's what you do to be successful. So to understand how we can be disciplined, you have to understand who you're trying to be first, and then step into the shoes of that person on a day-to-day basis. So next simple tip to be disciplined is to make sure that your environment is suiting you. If you look around at your environment and there's plenty of things out of touch with who you want to be, this is where we can start to get some really simple, easy wins. So if we're focusing solely on your physical health right now, things like having a snack drawer by your desk, having a junk food drawer in your kitchen, having the biscuits within reach, these things are just, they're not serving you. So have a look at your environment and think, what can I do to make this environment slightly better, that's going to be super easy for me to do, that is going to improve things. Even down to the point of making sure that you have a clean and tidy workspace, so that takes away some of that decision fatigue so you can think with a clearer head. Your environment is everything. And even things like making it frictionless and super easy for yourself to actually stick to your goals. So if you want to take up the gym and you're struggling to get into the routine and be disciplined of going, leave your trainers, your gym top, your gym shorts by the front door, so you have to walk past them when you leave the house. That means that you're probably going to get changed into them and go. If you're trying to read 10 pages of a book a night or a chapter of a book every single night, leave it on your pillow. This takes away the friction from having to go to reach the bookcase. As simple as that might sound, it's one thing that's going to get in the way and it's going to make it super simple for you, okay? Next one might sound a little bit counterproductive, but it's downtime. But downtime is uptime. And if we don't take our downtime to rest and recharge and recuperate, you're not going to be able to operate at your best. And that means you're probably going to have more stress. You're not going to be able to deal with things better. And then you're going to start leaning into those lazy habits even more. So rest and recovery is super important. That goes for time off work, family time, socials, but also literally your sleep. Maybe taking a bath, doing some self-care and some self-love. I know myself, when I'm really stressed and I have a lot on my plate and there's a lot going on, if I allow these simple self-love things like getting a good night's sleep or having a shave or getting changed into some good clothes, if I let these simple things go when it comes to like my own time for me, then all of the other things go as well. So it starts with looking after yourself in these really, really simple ways in order to build. Next one, this next tip could quite simply change your life, and this could 10x your productivity and your energy, okay? And that is to get used to being unstimulated. We live in a world now where we're just so used to being stimulated 24/7. You know, even majority of people, and we see this all the time, the first thing they do when they wake up is their alarm goes off, they switch off and they go on TikTok. Or maybe something else, maybe porn or whatever that might be, okay? And then they go to the toilet, and whilst they're walking to the toilet, they have their phone in their hand. And whilst they're pissing, they have their phone in their hand. Whilst they're shitting, they have their phone in their hand, right? And it's this constant need for stimulation. And guess what? When you're stimulated from things that are designed to give you dopamine hits and make your brain feel all nice and comfortable and fuzzy and like things are good for a moment, these short bursts of dopamine, guess what? When you're that stimulated, everything else feels incredibly boring. Your work feels boring, the gym will feel boring, whatever that might be. So in order to get disciplined, you have to get used to being bored. You have to get used to being bored and sitting there and doing nothing. Allow yourself to be unstimulated. One thing that I've done recently that's really changed the game for me has not given myself access to my phone in the mornings. So I don't look at my phone until I wake up at about 6 a.m. I start work at 6:30 and I don't look at my phone until about 11. So I then have a work block of around about 4.5 hours completely uninterrupted. And that allows myself to really dial in that discipline with that work block. And again, I get loads more done in that period of time. Simple ways that you can do this. You can get a phone lock box, get them off Amazon for like 30-40 quid. Easy. That 30-40 quid is going to make you thousands from actually just being more productive. You lock your phone in the box, you put how many hours you want to put it in for, and it won't unlock until that time. Another thing, just put your phone in the car or something. If you don't want to get a phone lock box, go lock it in the car. It then gives you this barrier to having access to your phone. It's not right by your side. It's not in your desk. It's in your car. You have to walk downstairs, out of your office, out of the door, go get your phone, come get back. And on the way, your brain's probably going to kick in and go, you said you weren't going to do this. This isn't a good idea. So get used to being unstimulated. It's going to be an absolute superpower. It will give you the edge over other people as well, because the vast majority of people, when a task gets boring and they haven't got that dopamine hit, they go searching for it. And so they go to TikTok, they go to Instagram, and they doom scroll. They look for all of these things that are just going to give these quick dopamine hits, okay? And then the final one is practice delayed gratification. Again, we live in an Amazon Prime lifestyle where you can have anything at your fingertips now. Practice delayed gratification. Be okay with the result not coming for 6 months to 12 months. Focus on the process, focusing on turning up and doing your actions every single day. And again, this comes back to just starting, committing, flipping that switch in your mindset and saying, I am going to do this. I'm going to take these actions on in order to improve myself. So focus on that process. Be okay with the result not coming tomorrow. It might come in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever that might be, but focus on the process of becoming a better person and the results will come. So that is how we get disciplined, and some nice and simple, easy tips how to do it. So thank you for coming along again. And if that episode was useful, please share this with a friend and a family. Leave a review. I'd really appreciate it.